Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan. Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
How's it going, everybody? On a Tuesday here, the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports. Cam's with us, so is Kool-Aid, and the good luck charm is to our right. Of course, they didn't need you in Boston last night. It was a nice win for the Pistons that we'll get into in a little bit. How are you, my friend? You look smashing with the aloe.
No, I appreciate that.
Top
man.
and bottom, yeah.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. You know, there's no such thing as good news or bad news. It's just news, and it's how you take that information, how you process that information, and how you spit that information back out. So I am pretty good.
Okay, well, that's great.
Pretty good.
They've got some pizza and some wings back there for us, which is very nice. Had lunch before I came, but that doesn't mean I turned down free pizza.
Made a salad today.
That's a stunner.
Strawberries, peppers, banana peppers, cucumbers.
Strawberries?
Strawberries.
Who's in favor of strawberry or fruit in their salad?
Only two types of fruit, though.
Okay.
Only two types.
What would it be?
Blueberry.
Strawberries and blackberries.
Blueberry?
No. No and no. Mandarin oranges.
Mandarin oranges.
Mandarin oranges I can vibe with in the salad. Outside of that, no, I'm good. And then also, I'm just apples.
So we have
To a certain
two in
extent.
favor of it, two against it.
Yeah.
Because Kool-Aid went half-ass. He went like this. Okay. He didn't go like this.
Right. It was like, there's an element of that I like, but
Right.
not fully.
He kind of went like this. Like, does anybody have to remember? When
It's
you were in third-
appropriate sometimes.
When you were in
That's what
third
that
grade,
means.
kids would go. Anybody have
When
to
you-
go to the bathroom? Some kids would just go like this.
Now, you know when you do that is when the teacher's calling on you to answer. Back when I was in at J-Zoo, we used to get extra credit. So, like, if you answer questions in class, and that carried over to UAD as well. You answer questions, you get points, bump your grade up, whatever. Like, this would be when people kind of knew the answer.
Yes.
And kind of didn't. It's like, if you call on me, I'm going to go ahead and give what I have. I'm not sure that it's right, but something tells me I could be right. That's when people do the half hand, like, oh, shoot, she calling me. Is it Sri Lanka? Damn it. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I had it. That's when you get this.
I have a lunch question for you because my
Okay.
kids always say to me, "You eat like a 12-year-old." I like sandwiches.
Fast? Aggressive?
No,
or
just what I
you
eat. I like bowls of cereal.
Okay.
Okay,
Very 12-year-old.
Very, very 12-year-old.
But it's true to who you are.
I like sandwiches.
Yeah.
All right, where my kids make full meals for lunch. I like sandwiches. What I wanted to know, if when you were a kid, what was one of the unique things you made that other kids or put on your sandwiches or whatever for lunch, where kids were like, "That's disgusting." So, for example, let me give you an example. I used to have salami sandwiches.
Yeah.
Now, my mom was very careful with the salami.
Okay.
Because didn't make a lot of money, so she would put maybe 2 thin slices on bread. You could barely taste the salami.
Yeah.
You're eating basically a bread and mustard sandwich.
100%.
So I used to crush potato chips and put it on my sandwich with salami. That's what my friends would be like, "Shep, that's disgusting. What are you doing?" I said, "Wait a minute. I'm eating them anyway. What's wrong with combining them?" Okay? So that was one of the things that was rather unique, at least in my friend group. You got anything like that for me?
Kind of that same thing. 2012, I legitimately was watching a commercial. I'm living in Miami at the time. I'm watching a commercial, and this is a new introduction to a promo. And I'm at this, it's a fast food spot. And legitimately, I'm watching this commercial, and I'm like, they stole this from my childhood. Like, I know I'm not the only person when I say what it was. I know you all felt the same way, but I'm like, they stole this from my childhood. Like, wait, I've been waiting for this my whole life. And it was when Taco Bell introduced the Doritos Locos Taco Supreme
okay.
and the Cool Ranch Taco Supreme. As a kid, when you go to Taco Bell or families making tacos at the house, the home recipe, just like Eddie Murphy Raw, yes, I like the house-made home burgers as well. But, I used to just crunch up the Doritos, you put them in the shell, you eat them with it, or you crunch up the Cool Ranch Doritos, or you take the taco, dump it out, and then you put the Cool Ranch Doritos in the plate or the regular Doritos, and you have taco salad. So when they went and finally made the Cool Ranch Dorito as well as the regular, I'm like, it's about time. But to the sandwich thing, I always was a sandwich guy, like crush some Ruffles up, put them on the chip.
Oh, you did it too?
100%.
Okay.
So,
but you don't do it any longer. You probably don't eat many sandwiches. Subs are one thing.
Subs are amazing, but no, like there's always a time to make a sandwich, and that for me is more of a, I don't know why, a warm weather time of year, like maybe like spring, summer, where you're just sitting, kicking your feet up, maybe coming in from golfing, like I'm just make a sandwich, have a glass of juice, and still crush some of those chips up and put them on.
So you'll put them on.
Gotta have a pickle with it too, though.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Gotta have a pickle. If you're gonna make a homemade sandwich, you gotta have a pickle.
Yeah. Pickles and olives. Black olives were two of the things that my friends thought were just disgusting. But I love pickles, black olives, and white button mushrooms, man. I love them.
Really?
Yes, I love them.
Do you like green olives?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course, man. I'll be disappointed.
I know you like them in your martinis. I'm just wondering. I was wondering if you happen to like them also elsewhere. So here's the big question. When people answer that way, my immediate question is, did you like pickle loaf as a kid?
What is that?
Well,
I don't even know what that is.
So pickle loaf is like, you know what it is, Cam? Okay.
I can guess what it is.
All right, picture a
loaf of bread.
No. Picture a circle of bologna with olives in it.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, he likes green olives.
Gimme.
He to him too.
Am I wrong? Is that a good description?
To you too.
No, you got it.
That's a good. I couldn't do it. I hated it.
Right.
Okay. I wouldn't even touch it. Ugh. Okay. That's a throwaway sandwich.
Tough.
That's not happening. All right. Sorry.
What's the best sandwich there is?
What's the best sandwich? Homemade?
No, just sandwich in general.
Or a good Reuben, man. You can't.
A good Reuben.
Okay.
You can't go
so
wrong.
you like sauerkraut?
I do.
Okay. I do not. Give me corned beef and mustard. I'm fine. I would agree with
I
that.
like it with the coleslaw though.
I do too.
With the coleslaw is absolutely fire.
Fair enough.
That's the fire mode of corned beef.
Okay.
That's a Southern style Reuben.
That's
my mom's
Southern
from
style
down
Reuben?
south,
Okay.
yeah.
Got to be rye bread, right?
See, Cam knows, man. We gotta get him in there. He's,
Okay.
I like Cam.
He's our resident sandwich guy.
Well, I was going to ask him. If there what was strange for him. So it was black olives, and it was what was the mushroom?
Yeah, white button mushrooms.
Okay.
You know.
All right. And
Kool-Aid. You grew up with access. You grew up with a little
Look,
bit.
man, my dad he went to Michigan, man.
unless maybe he's planting them in his backyard.
Yeah.
Cam,
This
what
is
about
true.
you? Anything strange that you used to eat?
You know, nothing really strange. My boys and I growing up did not discriminate whatsoever. We played a ton of soccer, so we put everything in our mouths. However,
That's a drop. That's a drop.
Hey, go ahead and drop
Clip
that. Clip that as a drop.
That's a drop.
with that being said, though, I would switch the game up and warm up my sandwiches, though. I got to get that cheese melted
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
and enhance those flavors.
Okay. All right, that's good.
100%.
My father used to make us potato sandwiches,
Potato sandwiches.
which is disgusting.
Yeah, it sounds disgusting.
He would take potato, mash it, put it on bread, and put it in the oven. Because my dad was in the war, my dad was in the Depression. They never, ever, ever left anything on the plate.
You know
All
what?
right? So into the oven it goes, and you had to, sorry, if he made it, you had to eat it. That's just the way it was, man. You couldn't leave anything on the plate. It's just the way it was.
You know, my grandma was like that, man. At the end of the week, she would make what was called happy soup.
Uh-oh.
Golly, bro, and it was like a little can of tomato soup, spaghetti, everything, beans, green beans, corn, everything was in this thing. It was almost
Everything,
like the hood minestrone soup. That's what I'm gonna call it. She's in Inkster, little Saigon right behind her.
Minestrone soup.
That's how she got down, man. And it was like, you know what? We knew we had to eat the happy soup if we wanted anything else.
All right.
That's how it
let's
was.
not refer to grandmother getting down, if you don't mind. But I get it. All right. I love that. The hood minestrone soup.
Minestrone.
So here was one for you. I'm at the table one time, and I tell my dad, I don't want to eat boiled potatoes. I can't eat them. All right? It's
Okay.
and my dad says, you're going to eat them. And I said, Dad, if I eat this, I swear I'm going to throw up. He said, I don't care if you throw up. You're going to eat them. What happens?
You threw up.
I threw up on the plate. He did not miss a bite. Just kept eating. He goes, "You're going to clean that up." That was it.
At least you're done eating.
At least I was done eating.
At least you're done eating.
At least I was done eating. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good stuff, man. What is the best sandwich, Cam, do you think? The best sandwich.
I mean, in my opinion, best sandwich is so seasonal. But for example, the other week I was in Ann Arbor for the Ohio game. Went to Knights, got that French dip. Ooh-wee.
I love French. Ooh. That's really good. Don't have to give the free advertising, but I hear what you're saying. The French dip is good. Yeah.
There you go.
I like French dip. A dip, I should say. Anytime. I could use that as a meal at dinner.
I like
no
French
problem with
onion
that.
soup.
You like French onion soup? I do not like French onion soup. Okay. All
Hey,
right.
Michael Wary in the chat with the $2 super chat said, Shep, you're telling your age. LOL, pickle loaf is elite.
Yes, I probably do. I probably am telling my age, but pickle loaf, it has no age. Michael, has no age whatsoever, and I'm glad you like it.
It's timeless, huh?
Because you and I would change sandwiches in the sandwich hall when we were kids. There's no way I would eat that. I would go hungry before I'd eat that.
Yeah,
No way.
There's corned beef and a good Italian sub. Like that's where I'm at.
I'm with you on that.
And with corned beef, like I'm very simple. Like I don't need sauerkraut. I don't need all the dressing, if you will. Just give me mustard, yellow mustard, that is.
Same here.
And then cheese.
Right.
I'm good.
And I don't even need the cheese.
Same.
A nice. Do you like it warm or do you like it cold?
I like it warm.
Okay. Are you a warm sandwich guy or a cold sandwich guy? Like if you're Italian sandwich, or if you're getting an Italian sandwich from Buddy's, okay?
I am in favor of warm, but it is something about cold lettuce. Like, so don't heat my lettuce up.
Don't heat the lettuce. I wouldn't
Yeah.
heat my tomato up.
Don't heat the
either.
lettuce up,
Yeah.
but I'm a warm sandwich guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Put my lettuce on after, though.
And then
Same. Yeah.
And the Reuben, I'm not a sauerkraut guy either, but Reuben is a hell of a sandwich.
Love it.
It's a hell of a
It does look good and it does smell good. I just can't do the sauerkraut. That's all. All right. Yeah, good stuff. Good little
Coleslaw.
conversation. Coleslaw is it, though.
They could be a nice little substitute.
All right. So it begs this question. Coleslaw with vinegar or coleslaw with mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise?
Vinegar.
Vinegar. Okay.
I just started recently eating coleslaw again. Like I had a. Whenever someone says I stopped eating,
Yeah.
it's probably because. So when I was young, my dad took me to KFC. Everybody knows the rule. You don't go to KFC after 7, 8 o'clock in the city. Let's call it the city. You don't. It gets to 8, 9, 10 o'clock. They're not necessarily putting out fresh product, fresh product pops. But I was about 6 or 7. This is right before I moved to Atlanta. We went to KFC late night. Boom, had some coleslaw. Coleslaw didn't agree with my stomach, and I didn't eat coleslaw again until my mom's and another establishment we don't have to mention, J. Alexander's. But yeah, those are
good. That's good. Coleslaw.
See, yeah, 100%. But I was 37.
Wow, that's a long time.
31 years.
That's a long time. So what would make you eat?
I only eat those 2 now.
So what would make you eat it again? If you were so taken aback before, what would make you go, you know what, I think I'll try it after 37 years?
As I got older in life, like my mom, my sister, they're great chefs. They cook anything. Like when they cook it, I'll give it a chance. And the fact that one of the best things with my mom, everything she makes is great, but coleslaw, it's like one of her brags, like a low key brag. People come over, if there's some left, they'll eat it and they talk about it. So I finally just said, you know what, like,
okay, good for you. And now you're back on the horse.
Just hers and just Alex.
Okay, all right. Because there are certain things I will try.
Hey, shout out to their carrot cake, bro.
You said what?
Oh man!
Shout out to their carrot cake.
Don't even start.
Hey,
Don't even start.
okay now.
Don't even start.
They still have old school chicken tenders, like the old school way, the breaded. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm about to hit a DoorDash situation.
Yeah, I'm
during
with
the
you.
show.
He's right though. The carrot cake is
Yes.
off the chain. I love that place's carrot cake. Love it too much. I love
Sounds like we're meeting there as a group soon.
You know what else I like? Have
Sounds
you had their pasta soup?
Yeah. What? They used to do the rattlesnake pasta back in the day, but
Yeah, that didn't agree with me either.
Makes
So
sense.
I haven't had that since. I don't know if there's anything that I've cut off that I've said I'm not having it anymore, and then gone back to it. Maybe Jack Daniels.
okay.
Okay, so I used to drink that quite a bit back in the collegiate days. Sometimes, as we all have experienced, it doesn't always sit well with you when you have maybe one too many shots. And I said, enough is enough. It's
the caramelization process.
It is the caramelization process. Well described. So I don't think there's a, I don't think, maybe I've gone back to that once or twice since, but I've moved on with better whiskey, better spirits. Cam, what is it that you've sworn off and you haven't gone back to or gone back to actually?
Candy.
Yeah, I mean, I get down on sugar every now and then, but after a blood test by the doctor, I now minimize red meat and dairy.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
okay.
man.
Okay.
That's a tough.
You said red meat and dairy?
That's a tough diet.
Red
man.
meat and dairy, yeah. Cholesterol is the Popovich killer. So.
Let me tell you like this. I don't know what I would do without sour cream. Like, this is, like sour cream.
You got to have it on everything, huh?
It's very secretly one of the biggest accessories that I use to my meals. Like I didn't realize it until I got older, like later in life. Like it's good on everything.
Yeah, can't do it.
Ish.
What
Things are
about
supposed to
anchovies in your Caesar salad?
Who?
Okay.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Oh,
if you,
100.
See, I don't mind if you use it in the dressing. You have to for Caesar dressing,
For sure.
but not extra.
That.
Well, that's what I'm
Give me
saying.
a little anchovy on top of my salad. Now you can keep those.
Yeah, that's what I do. Make sure keep those. Are you eating the anchovies, Kool-Aid?
Look, in the dressing,
Well,
it's
no,
cool.
that's a given. I'm talking about anchovies on the salad.
I got the can.
right out the can.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's actually good, super salty, but that was like once or twice.
Okay.
But nah,
You
man.
eating anchovies?
I ain't
Yeah,
doing
my
it.
pops
I'm
made
an
me, man.
adventurous eater, y'all.
I'm coming in that booth and getting that black card. You already eating anchovies out the can? Oh, let me get this black.
So, Cam, you're in your thumbs up on the anchovies out of the can.
Thumbs up out the can.
I'm not a thumbs up on it though. I tried it, but I'm not a thumbs up.
Like,
Okay.
if you're eating anchovies out of the can, or if you're eating the anchovies that come out of the can in a salad, on a pizza, as you say, who are you with when you're doing that? Because like, I have to take that.
nasty.
I have to take that into consideration.
Well,
Like, I can't eat anchovies and say,
you're
hey,
not
man,
with your
so, you know,
girlfriend.
the Pistons last night, man. You saw that game they had.
Hey.
Go brush your teeth. You just ate anchovies.
Here's a mint.
No, it's not strong enough.
Not strong.
Here's a toothbrush. Here's some baking soda I just happened to have in the car.
Last thing, and then we'll move on to Lions. Spam.
Nah.
No? Nah. Ever?
I was fortunate that no.
No? Okay.
No.
Kool-Aid? Well, he's growing his own stuff, so there's absolutely not. I'm guessing Cam is a thumbs up on spam.
Hey,
Before the doctor said, cut back on meat.
Look at that.
If you
Look
wanna
at that
count,
face.
If you want to count that as meat.
He's excited. Look at him.
I haven't really had a good version of Spam, but as long as it's crunchy, I'm eating it.
Son, I don't care.
I don't think we've ever had somebody in that booth that's given us 2 drops within a matter of 3 minutes.
What did you say, man? Did your dad just kept it moving?
Oh, snap.
You're gonna clean that up, by the way.
Okay. You know that, right? Yeah, I guess so. All right.
Vienna sausages, are they next?
No, they're not. Well,
Hey, Red Hots. Man, my pops used to tell me. On
Red
campus.
Hots are different.
wait, the candy? Or you're
Oh,
talking
no,
about
no,
Red
no,
Hot?
on
I talking
campus,
about
the hot
just-
dogs.
yeah.
The Vienna, yeah.
I'm on the Red Hot.
It's shut down.
I am
but-
too.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
See, look at
Yeah,
you.
I got no problem with that. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
And the waffle fries.
Yeah.
Right on campus.
As long as they're not sweet potato waffle fries.
No.
Fair enough. I'd rather have shoestring fries. If I'm going to have any fries, I'd rather have shoestring fries.
Yeah, shoestrings are.
I don't like steak fries. Waffle fries I can tolerate, but I'm not a huge fan of.
steak fries. Depend on where you go. Because there's a burger establishment that everybody knows. Yum. their steak fries pretty good.
Okay.
You
See,
know
I
what?
didn't say it.
You didn't.
But you know what I'm
He's
talking
what
not
you're
lying, though. He's not lying.
Steak fries are fire.
Gosh,
But
man, now y'all got me sitting here ranking my top 5 fries in my head.
Well, I'm just
Potato,
I'm
man,
wondering
like
what
it's-
kind of fries.
yeah, it's one of those things.
I said shoestring. He likes waffle.
I love the waffle.
no.
ones, man.
He
Oh,
brought a
well, he brought up the waffle.
Yeah, I'm shoestring.
You're a
guy.
shoestring guy. Okay, so
that's
we're
it,
close.
yeah. We're
All
shoestring
right.
guys.
All right. Your waffle fries, Cam? You know.
I would rather substitute for sweet potato,
Okay.
but I will eat just about anything.
As long as it's crunchy, yeah.
All right.
Keep that skin out.
As long as it's crunchy.
Crunchy
He's
spam.
got the crunchy spam. He's got the crunchy anchovies. Now he's got the crunchy fries. All right, when we come back, we're going to dive into some Lions. Some sobering news outside of Lions camp that might give you an idea of where your team is at. and give you a better understanding of why some people, justifiably so, don't believe in this team. We're back with more after this from Ben Johnson and Art and Jakes.
Oh, man, corporations, the government, even your insurance company will do whatever it takes to minimize their liability, but we don't want them to do that. They're trying to withhold your compensation. So when something like this occurs, the first call you should make should be to Ben Johnson Law. How you make that call or how you get in contact is venfights.com, venfights.com. He's been fighting for a very long time at a very high level. You know what comes next. It doesn't matter if it's a settlement. It doesn't matter if it's a verdict. They want all the smoke. So allow the fighter to fight for you.
Got me in the middle of the bite.
It's all good, man. Yeah. Tell us about Art and Jakes.
Art and Jakes, they got some really good pizza there. We had some just the other day at the watch party. Had some of that fire shrimp that was just outstanding, man. The drinks were pouring. The good times were happening. Why? 80 TVs, 22 different kind of beers on tap, and the food outrageously good, including their signature fairway burgers. Don't miss specials like rib night on Monday nights. Tomorrow night is fajitas and margaritas at Art and Jake's. Check them out today. 6 locations throughout the great state of Michigan, and actually one in Georgia, too.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential with over 2,700 gyms around the country. It's the gym for you, and it's not just here in Michigan. It is around the whole country, but there are 50 locations here, and those locations are squeaky clean. There's no judgment, and then there's trainers on staff for everything that you might do or questions that you may have. Come on down to Planet Fitness, starting your journey, continuing your journey. It doesn't matter. Fitness is essential, and we understand that at Planet Fitness, you should too, and this is where you should do it at.
Big time numbers coming up on the Lions here. First things first, this Sunday, when you watch the Lions and the Steelers, what are you going to be drinking? You don't want to have anything heavy in your gut that's going to make you fall asleep, make you drowsy. You want something that picks you up, something that is light, and something that tastes really, really good. That is Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Real vodka, real iced tea, no bubbles, a clean, crisp sip that will cost you just 100 calories. Perfect for tailgates. Perfect for get-togethers. Perfect for holiday parties, and please drink responsibly.
And we back.
If I told, welcome back. If I told you before the season began that the Lions in week 15, 14 games in, would have the same record as the Steelers and the Colts, how unnerving would you feel? Because that's exactly the situation today.
Yeah.
8-6. Pittsburgh's win last night. Rodgers, a couple of touchdown passes. Love what he had to say. I don't know if you watched any of the post game with him, but his comments about Kenneth Gainwell,
yeah,
who had 124 total yards, were pretty awesome. He just talked about how much he admires him and how he's watched him when he was at Philadelphia and wanted to have him on his team and loves playing with him, and he's a great teammate. And just really cool. Like, Rodgers is one of those guys who I think is almost trying to fix his image to a certain extent. He still looks like a kind of a badass on the field where he's getting mad at certain things when the plays don't come in time. But I thought he played well. He's not going downfield a ton, but 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, not bad. For his age, a guy doing what he's doing, at times they were pretty fun. They're 8-6 now. The Colts, with Phillip Rivers coming in as quarterback, are an 8-16, and so are the Lions. How do you explain that?
Yeah, that's tough sledding.
It is.
What those teams are teams that are good teams this season. They're pretty good, but they're not good enough, if you will. You look at the Colts and you look at the Steelers. They have wins, but they don't necessarily have the quality wins, the bigger wins. I know the Colts did beat the Broncos early on in the season. They beat them by 1. I think they did get a win against they beat the Steelers.
Yeah.
So there is that win. They beat the Broncos early on, but for the most part, they're just a team that's pretty good. But when it comes down to the nuts and bolts, they're kind of like the Lions as it relates to in the second half, something just doesn't go their way in the major games per se.
Yeah, I can't figure this out with the Lions.
The Rodgers thing is interesting though. You're right. I just wanted to comment on it and say you're absolutely right. Like, he knows where his image was. You talk about where it was with Green Bay, leaving the situation how he did. Whether you believe in exactly how that situation played out, let's just talk about what it was and what was perceived. It was how he held them hostage. He didn't want us to go. He waited to the last minute. He left in the 25th hour. He blew the whole situation up. There was angst. There was no working. There was all those things. He goes to the Jets. He gets to the Jets. He's his own person. He's doing this, that, and the third. There just seemed to be this Aaron-like narrative, and then also the play didn't match. Aaron's always been Aaron. The difference is he's MVP Aaron. Now when you're operating like that, you're having that kind of mentality, saying those words, and then you're not backing up on the field and you're injured, it's a lot different. So when he's looking at himself, we're the same age, same draft class. When he's looking at himself at the end of the season with the with the New York Jets, it's like after last season, it's like, dang, didn't make the playoffs, haven't made the playoffs in a very long time, haven't played this level of football that I want people to remember me by, and also everybody thinks that I'm not a good teammate and an asshole.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at, am I going to retire? Is this it for me? Am I going to hang them up? What are people going to remember me by? Because that becomes a thing. No matter what you do in life, you're going to get to that point when you have success and it starts to wane, or you start to want to retire from whatever profession. It's like, what is the legacy? How am I remembered? And when you're looking at it, you're like, this isn't good. This isn't good, considering where I used to be, how they used to say, and so now all of a sudden it's, well, is he even better than Matt Stafford?
Yeah.
And that was the conversation. So he's like, look, let me get to a situation where I can have some success. And part of that success is Aaron knows that you can do more. You're 20 years in this league. You can get back to his teammates. And I think this year he's made it about not Aaron Rodgers. This year it's about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think you're right.
This is about the guys that play on the team. This is about helping Mike Tomlin get back to the playoffs yet again. So I think this is the year he dedicated to everybody except himself. And in doing so, it's actually benefiting himself.
I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know if they've ever had the debate with Stafford. I mean, Rodgers won 4 MVPs.
Yeah, true.
It says something. People forget, though, his 1 year in New York, I know it was 2 years, but really it's 1 because he got injured in the first.
Yeah.
He threw for almost 4,000 yards, right? 28 touchdowns. Yeah. 63% passing isn't good, but the yardage and the touchdowns are okay. 28 to 11 touchdowns, interceptions, not great. I just find it interesting that, this is probably his last year, as they said on the broadcast last night, and he's probably a guy who's, obviously he's going to go on first ballot Hall of Fame, but he's probably a guy who is relishing this moment maybe a little bit more than a lot of teams or a lot of players.
I would say the biggest thing in terms of that is, Shep, just look at the situation yesterday when Aaron Rodgers throws a touchdown to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who they used to be on the same team. That's one of his young guys from Green Bay. And you know Aaron's always have to have a couple guys that he knows, make himself comfortable. He brings in Valdez-Scantling. If that moment would have happened last year, the year before that, I wouldn't care. It was because of what Aaron has been. I didn't care about this moment that you had with Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I didn't care about this. But because of how he's been this season, because you know it's the end, and it's the end of a great career. However you feel about Aaron, you can't say his career hasn't been great. That moment was kind of a cool moment. It's like, here he is. He's kind of still operating with some grease. That was a hell of a throw. He throws it to his former teammate, and you see them smiling, and they get a little headbutt, kind of like reminiscent of him and, oh, my God, what's DeAndre Cobb. I mean, Randall Cobb. When they lost to the Lions.
Yeah.
I didn't care about that then because Aaron was who he was. But in this moment, it's a little bit different. Like, they had that moment, and they both kind of, I know this is the end of an era. So, but it's because of what he's been this year. He hasn't been selfish. He hasn't been the old Aaron Rodgers. Like, I'm just a team guy trying to win for the Steelers.
I can say this, though. He still got it in his arm.
Hell yeah.
That throw to DK Metcalf,
it almost saved my fantasy.
That was unbelievable.
It almost saved my
that was an
fantasy.
unbelievable throw.
It was a great throw.
It had
it's a rope.
Yeah, it was a frozen seed, and Metcalf really turned it into something. And I thought Pittsburgh was, it was pretty good last night. I know Miami. I know it's a tough thing to measure against, but still, I thought Pittsburgh was pretty good. But bottom line is, they're 8-6. Yeah. Colts are 8-6. Lions are 8-6. And you've got some interesting numbers regarding the Lions offense since Dan Campbell took over calling the plays. Now, they said this during the broadcast on Sunday.
Yeah.
They said Detroit has the most explosive plays since he's taken over the play calling. Your numbers go deeper than that. What do you have for us?
Since Dan Campbell's taken over the offensive play calling, the Lions are first in total yards, they're first in yards per play, they're third in points scored, fourth in touchdowns, 24th in punts, and 32nd in turnovers, ladies and gentlemen, which means
24th in punts is a good statistic.
And 32nd in turnovers means they're number one in the league in not giving the ball up. Since Dan Campbell has become.
That's not surprising. Goff only has 5 picks.
100%.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at all these statistics, you're looking at these metrics, you're even looking at the score yesterday, they still put up 30-plus points. I mean, garbage touchdown late. They still put up 30-plus points against the Rams. It just tells me that the defense has been the lacking side.
Okay. Fair enough. And I'm not going to disagree with you. That's a really impressive number, and it's just so people could see it here on the back wall. Again, first in total yards since Dan Campbell took over play calling duties. First in total yards, first in yards per play, third in points scored, fourth in touchdowns, 24th in punts. That's good. You don't want to be first in punts. And 32nd in turnovers. In other words, the fewest giveaways.
Yeah.
And they're going to go up against a Chicago team at the end of the year that thrives on takeaways. Knowing that this tells you that the defense is the issue. So there's a two-pronged part to this. Yeah. First of all, that defense is a big reason why they scored their first points against L.A. because of Hutchinson's interception. So I don't know how to read sometimes into these numbers. Ever since you and I have been working together, you're like, sometimes numbers can be really misleading and skewed a little bit, and that's when I take that into consideration. The other thing is, and we like him, has Calvin Shepard gotten a bit of a free pass? Everybody jumped on John Morton, and rightfully so. I do not want him to be the offensive coordinator. He should not be around this team next year. My hope is he moves on and finds a job somewhere else as a quarterback's coach, not here. But Calvin Shepard, we always gave a high five from afar to because of what he's had to deal with, injuries and so on and so forth. There was time where he was being mentioned as a possible LSU head coaching candidate. Hell, we said Monday after they beat Tampa, this is how you get on the radar of other NFL teams, possible list. Is he getting a free pass? Because it seems like a lot of people are blaming certain players, but they're not blaming the defensive coordinator.
I don't technically believe that he's getting a free pass. I believe that he's operating in the same space as Aaron Glenn's operating as it relates to some defensive players that are just okay. Like, realistically, I don't think the linebackers are particularly good in coverage. We talked about that yesterday. Jack Campbell is a phenomenal season he's having, but I'm talking more about Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, and then Malcolm Rodriguez. You talk about the DBs. DB has been an issue for the Detroit Lions since I can remember. Going back to the days of Brian Westbrook, since Dre Bly, et cetera. Darius Slade leaves, we haven't been able to replace him with the exception of Carlton Davis. Last year, I thought was a pretty good DB last year. DB play hasn't been good. Whether it's Terrion Arnold, whether it's DJ Reed, whether it's Amik Robinson, Rock Yassin, they have operated decent at times, but the starters haven't been good, and then the backups, they're just that. They're backups, and then the backups to the backups have played a lot of football because of injuries this season. You haven't got anything out of the individuals that you paid. DJ Reader hasn't done much this year. Lee McNeil hasn't done much this year. And then on the opposite side, your rush in on the right side, that's supposed to be Marcus Davenport this year. He's not done much this year. So when you got players that aren't necessarily doing much and players I don't believe to be necessarily that good, I'm not going to put too much on what Kelvin Shepard is. Now, Aaron Glenn was able to get more out of his players, but I think Aaron Glenn was also operating a defense that had a better offense in the last 2 seasons.
That's true.
So I think you're playing. I think you're playing a different type game, and you're playing a game which, look at the Rams. Yeah, there were some plays in there where the Rams defense gave up some big plays to the Lions and this, that, and the third, but their offense kept going. Their offense they didn't get stopped and they didn't get stalled in the second half. So when you're touchdown, field goal, long drive, etc., putting the pressure on, that's very familiar to what the Lions have done in the last 2 years. So it's easier for the defense.
I think that's a really thoughtful explanation. I think it's a roundabout way of giving him a free pass, quite honestly, because we're saying that the offense isn't as good and that he's had some bad players. Right. And yet when John Morton's calling plays, we never said Graham Glasgow wasn't good. We didn't say that, but we weren't making the excuse for him. We weren't saying it about the left guard. We weren't saying it about the right guard. We were focused on John. And when I say we, I'm talking about myself. Okay, we're talking about John Morton and how he shouldn't be calling plays. He shouldn't have gotten the job, so on and so forth. I don't disagree with any of that. I still believe that. Okay, but I don't think we're saying that about Kelvin Shepard, and I'm wondering why. And it seems like he's got a Lee McNeil back. He's got a first-round pick. He's got a highly paid defensive end. Yeah. He's got what appear to be on track to be an all-pro linebacker. 2 other linebackers who've been relatively healthy. The secondary's been beat up, no question. I'm not sure we're using the same criteria for both coordinators. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we definitely talked about the offensive line being bad, but to your point, we never at one point just said, hey, we talked about the offensive line, but we gave a lot of that to John Morton. John Morton's this, John Morton's that. John Morton doesn't understand how to run between his tackles. John Morton doesn't understand how to get David Montgomery involved. John Morton also came to the podium and said, I failed.
Yes, he did.
So when you come to the podium and say, I failed, well, you've kind of now taking us trying to figure it out or us trying to place blame or us, this is my opinion. You've kind of come to the forefront and giving us the truth.
That's true.
Well,
you've given us ammunition.
It's like, Shep, look, he said it.
Yeah,
like I didn't have to say it. So I think it's also, it comes back to Lions fans. And in this situation, I'm a Lions fan, as Sheila Hampton, Lions fan. I think in this situation, I like Kelvin Shepard.
Okay. I know you like him. I like him too.
I understand that. But sometimes, I'm just saying, sometimes when you like the Lions, the fans, they love all the Lions players. Yeah. So you can't say anything negative about the Lions players. Like, they're still trying to convince me that Derek Barnes is the linebacker for the Detroit Lions.
He's the second coming to Mike Kofer, right?
He's not. Yeah. With Kelvin Shepard, because I like him, because I like the energy, and because it's like, look, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. Brad Holmes, it's easy for me to point to Brad Holmes.
Sure.
Brad Holmes said he was going to get him a defensive end. Well, he got a Marcus Davenport. How did that work out for him?
Right.
We're supposed to draft a rush in or find another DB1. Well, instead we got Talik Williams. How's that work out for the defensive line? So it's easy to point to those things. I didn't ask for DJ Reed. I didn't ask him to be the DB. I didn't ask for Terrion Arnold to be the DB that we draft, that we actually moved up 8 picks to draft, or 6, I think it was. So it's easy to go, hey, Brad didn't prepare this defense, which –
I think a lot of us were hoping that he would run things back, but I don't know what that price tag would be with guys like Carlton Davis and Kevin Zeitler, 2 guys that I do believe would help us. And we know how much people clamored for Za'Darius. Some people believe if he was in Detroit, he wouldn't have retired. But I
don't know where that stems from. I'd love to know their thoughts on why they think that.
I think he's put it in here in Detroit.
We're
But
such a difference. I mean,
Oh, because
he's the one I put on the
because he wouldn't
outside. But
start.
the other two, Carlton Davis and Zeitler, there's a lot of people who thought that they were vital to the success we had. Let's run that back.
Yeah.
But
I get that.
yeah.
even just with those two, like just looking at, I guess we're talking Brad Holmes right now for a brief moment. Just looking at that situation, you saw what the offensive line was in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You saw what the offense was in the last 2 years, and then this past offseason, yes, you drafted Tate Ratledge, but you didn't make enough in my mind, and now hindsight's 2020, although we had this conversation before the season. Did you do enough knowing how good that offensive line was and what it allowed you to do? Did you consider Kevin Zeitler just a tad bit more for this 1 year? Did you consider maybe making some of the moves that the Chicago Bears, I'm not trying to bring them up, I'm just talking about the offensive linemen that got, because their interior three that they picked up this year have served them very well. You look at the Carlton Davis situation, fine. If Carlton Davis' contract and what the money that he wanted was too much for a DB that's getting injured, I think he missed 3 games that year. He missed 3 games the year before. So if you tell me it was too much, then that's fine. But then pay attention to what he was. Carlton Davis is 6'2" and could cover, was physical, brought attitude, intensity, can run, all those things. DJ Reed's 5'8". So.
Yeah, but remember, when they went 12-5
23
in 23, they had Jonah Jackson at left guard. They have Grant Glasgow at right guard.
Yeah.
All right. The Zeitler thing is going to baffle me for a long time. Here's the other thing I was thinking about this morning in doing my radio.
Jonah went to LA and got paid.
Yeah, he did. Somebody had asked me this morning about the schedule. And I was looking at the Lions schedule, and I'm thinking to myself, what you've always talked to me about, and you're looking for the signature win. I would argue they cannot have a signature win for the entire season. In fact, I would argue every single team that they've played, and you know how I feel, I have great respect for all athletes and how much it takes to do what they do. I would never say somebody sucks. I would never say a team sucks. Man, Tennessee sucks, or anything like that. But you've got to admit, when I go through the schedule, I want you to think about this for a second. They lose to Green Bay. How do you feel about Green Bay now, especially with Micah Parsons out? I think most people look at them as a good team. I don't think they're a great team, but they look at them as a good team. But they lost to them. Excuse me. The Bears, people don't respect the Bears here.
Which is going to be sad. It's January 3rd. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
it's going to be sad.
It is. The Ravens, they're a 500 football team. The Browns, they're not good. The Bengals, ditto.
Yeah.
The Chiefs didn't make the playoffs. The Buccaneers, 500 football team. Vikings, under 500. Washington, under 500. Eagles, sliding away. Giants, not good. Packers, Cowboys, Rams.
And on top of that, you still got some concerns as it relates to the teams that they have ahead. You know, there's some people who are legitimately like, are they better than the Minnesota Vikings right now, who already beat them once?
Kool-Aid, name the team on their schedule that is good besides the Rams, maybe the Packers. And I would say the Bears, like you would, but there's a lot of people who don't believe that.
This is what I would say. I would say as it relates to everyone on there I agree with. Because remember before that Tampa game, and you told me I couldn't use that because the Lions secondary was injured as well. I said, you know what, that's fair. That Tampa Bay Buccaneer team limped, and even though they were in first place, they're still in first place, by the way. They limped into that game. They were down 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 3 D tackles, the whole 9 yards. So when you're watching that game, oh, and by the way, Mike Evans, he gets hurt, collarbone, second quarter. I'm like, this isn't going to be as good of a win as they think. Let's say that. Where I would give pushback, the Ravens game. Were the Ravens, yes, 500 team, not necessarily that good, probably going to miss the playoffs with how the Steelers played last night. That's true. But Lamar Jackson was healthy that game. Mm-hmm. That offense was healthy that game, minus a couple, maybe the tackle was banged up. That defense, for whatever it's worth, maybe not that good, was missing one player. That team went to Baltimore, knew what was on the record, and they beat Baltimore with a healthy Lamar Jackson, who the week before should have beat Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. They gave the game away at the end in the fourth quarter. That was a good team at that time, and they were led by the MVP of the league 2 times over and should have been MVP last year. They still went, got that win, and they dominated, and they looked good in all phases. So I will give them that was a really good win. Signature, maybe not, but that was a good win.
Yeah,
at
we
the
didn't
time.
we didn't know at the time Lamar Jackson was not who he was over the last 3 years.
He got hurt after that.
Oh no, I understand, but
Yeah.
this year in general, he hasn't been very good. It's as simple as that. Okay.
The other side, there's one game that could be a signature win.
Well, it could be the Chicago game at the end of the year.
That one.
Right. But my point to that is, like, the signature win isn't coming against Pittsburgh.
No.
Okay?
Nope.
And the signature win isn't coming at Minnesota.
Against 9?
Against 9, even though he was good last week. Because Minnesota's they're going to be a sub-500 team in all likelihood. So it's got to come against Chicago at the end of the year. The problem is many Lions fans, stubbornly so, don't believe that the Bears deserve any credit.
Oh, but
and that's because of Ben Johnson.
But see, that's what I love about Lions fans. That's what I love about any fans. Like, because all fan bases would do this, but we're talking about you, so we're talking about the Lions fans. They haven't used it. They don't like the Bears. They don't think DeAndre Swift has returned and is that good. But Shep, when they play him, if they beat him, what will Lions fans say? We beat Chicago in Chicago to go to the playoffs. You telling me that's not a big win? Are they going to use it when it's necessary?
That's a great point.
100%.
When it's convenient.
And when it's convenient.
Absolutely going to use it.
You don't remember when we went to Chicago January 3rd and got the win? Like, but to your point, Chicago's a really good team. Like, they're a really good team. They've gotten better as the year has gone on. Offensively and defensively, you're starting to see what it is as it relates to Caleb and Ben. Defense, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, man, you may not like him either, but he's added a spark for Chicago Bears, added some energy, and then that offensive line. They've protected up front. Like, you still know Caleb's going to do some dumb SHIT, so you still have opportunities. Like the throw he made and the touchdown to DJ Moore, was it a laser? Oh, yeah. Was it a pretty pass? Yeah. Was it a dumb play? Yeah. It was all those things. So excited for the game, but there's still – it's going to be a good game, and if you win, it'll be a damn good win.
I want it to
mean, it's going to be tough.
I want it to mean something. So I think we all are pushing really hard to hope that the Lions win the next 2 games. I'm confident that they beat Pittsburgh. The Minnesota game does scare me a little bit.
Why are you confident they'll beat Pittsburgh? Watched them last night. They beat Miami. Miami's not necessarily that good. They were 4 games in a row. They lost. They know they're 14. They're 0-14 in games minus 40 degrees. So we know that they were going to win.
Tua Tagovailoa is awful in cold weather. Yeah. Mike Tomlin's never lost on the Monday night stage.
Yeah.
Which is just mind-blowing.
Why do the Lions beat the Pittsburgh Steelers and their slew of tight ends? They got 19 tight ends on that team.
If for no other reason,
yeah,
I don't think Pittsburgh can keep up with Detroit offensively. The thing that scared you and I collectively before the game against L.A. on Friday, we talked about this. What bothers us is we thought Detroit would be able to score. You said Atlanta scored Carolina scored on L.A. So we thought the Lions could score. The question was, are they going to be able to stop Los Angeles? Yeah. Pittsburgh does not have that type of offense. I think that's a team that scores in the low 20s. And I think Detroit's offense that scores 30 a game is going to score in the 30s. I think that's going to be a double-digit win. The Minnesota game scares the living hell out of me, only because that's the game, and we're all scarred.
Brian Flores.
Okay. But, again, there's the coordinator. You're crediting Brian Flores. What about the players? But whatever. He did a great job against Detroit, and that's the game that scarred me this year because that's what I said at the time. That's the turning point. That's when I jumped off and felt like this team is flawed, more so than I ever thought it was.
Talking about his kneecaps was still intact. That loss just aggravated me more than the others. And you know what? It's not like he's going to be at a loss of confidence. 9 and those Vikings who on defense, they've been hanging with the Detroit Lions the last few years. Regardless of how good we've been, it's taken end-of-game turnovers and such. So they're not coming in here short of confidence when they play the Detroit Lions at all.
Well, Detroit's got to go to Minnesota.
Yeah.
But remember, what Braylon said prior to that game against Minnesota, he warned it. I don't know if you guys remember, but he said it's the defensive line that scares him a little bit. He didn't use the word scare, but worries him more than anything else. And that was the difference. Their ability to rush that A-gap burns in our memory for a long period of time. Yeah. What makes us think anything has changed? If anything, Detroit's gotten worse because of the left guard situation. If you believe Christian Mahogany was a worthy candidate to start.
Jonathan Kennard, Jonathan Allen, Jalen Redmond, Javon Hargrave, Andrew Van Ginkel, Blake Cashman, Yvonne Pace Jr., Byron Murphy Jr., Isaiah Rogers, Harrison Smith, Josh Metellus. So you happy? I named the whole defense. That defense and those players are who balled against the Detroit Lions. Who got them in position is Brian Flores.
Yeah.
He did it when he was with the Dolphins. He did it when he was with the Patriots. And he did it when he was with he did it with the Steelers as well.
Sure did.
And now he's doing it with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
The way in which he understands the pressure and where to go and where to line at the time, he's done well. You look at Minnesota versus Seattle a couple weeks ago. Their quarterback was horrible. That was filling in for 9 or J.J. McCarthy or whoever scored that touchdown and did the gritty. They were god awful in that game.
Yeah.
Don't you know Sam Darnold couldn't do jack squat? Don't you know Sam Darnold was stuck? That offense by Seattle was stuck, much like they were against the Colts. Brian Flores was able to dial up some things.
Wait, against Seattle, they lost 26-0.
Yeah, but literally, them 26 points don't happen until the second half.
Okay.
They were in the game,
Yeah.
at least from the defensive standpoint, until what happens with all defense.
Yeah, look,
offense,
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you sold me before the Minnesota game when it was at Ford Field earlier this year, and it still concerns me. Okay, I am not worried about J.J. McCarthy one bit. Justin Jefferson can concern me.
Yeah.
Some other guys absolutely, but not number 9. The defense does scare me. It does, and I think it's a worthy
the defense and Kevin O'Connell, man. KOC in the defense. That's what it is for me.
If KOC can reach his quarterback instead of him doing the blessed ditty on a freaking running touchdown. Go ahead.
Yeah, because Minnesota's defense is much better than the Rams' defense. Like what you saw in the Rams' defense, they're a bend them down break. Gerard Verse is an amazing player. Byron Murphy is an amazing player. That defense as a whole is a really good up front, bend don't break in the secondary type of a defense. That's how you see people have success on. That's not the Minnesota Vikings. That's not the defense that they are. They are much better all around. They're a damn good defense.
They're one of the better defenses Detroit will face all season long. I would also say, Josiah Stewart has been pretty good. Nate Landman's pretty good too as a middle linebacker.
It's a good TV show too, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm finally caught up.
Landman, yeah, it is. It is a pretty good show. The Minnesota game is a little concerning to me. And I know you got to get there first, but I think it's a fair question. What makes you think? And please don't give me they haven't lost 2 games in a row in 3 years. What makes you think?
They've also only won 2 games back to back. They haven't done that since September 28th for all those people.
Right. It's been
September 28th. Last time they went back to back, and everybody assumes they're winning 3 at the end of the year.
Well, yeah. And what did we say yesterday? 7?
Yeah.
7 to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because you gotta go 4 in the playoffs.
Right. That's.
And by the way,
what makes you think that's going to happen
on the road?
But to your point about Pittsburgh, it's a great question to people. What makes you think that it's an automatic? I said I have no concern over it. I think they're going to win. What makes you think it should be an automatic win over Pittsburgh? They have the same record, okay? They have beaten some teams that are better than the teams you've beaten.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that?
And they got some players on defense too. For the players are a lot older. But it doesn't matter. They're getting it done. Jalen Ramsey seems to be healthy right now. Cameron Hayward had one of those old school games. He had 2 sacks. He's been doing this for 15 years.
Right.
Now, in T.J. Watt's absence, the thing about them, though, is they don't get any pressure off the edges. They don't
especially without T.J. Watt.
Without T.J. Watt, they haven't been getting any pressure off the edges. So I think in the day, but then that's where that offensive line, that interior.
Dude, that is such a good point. Yeah. Okay. Let me just read a few wins for Pittsburgh. They have beaten New England.
Yeah.
They have beaten Minnesota. They have beaten the Colts. And they have beaten the Ravens. Now, they beat the Ravens at a different time. They beat the Colts at a different time when they were good, actually.
Yeah, they beat them. It was there. They beat them at Acrisure.
Yeah, they beat New England when New England was just starting out, so not necessarily when they're on a 10-game roll, but if we're going to not necessarily hold that against the Lions and when they beat somebody, we can't do that for Pittsburgh. They've got more impressive wins than Detroit does. Why would I think it's an automatic for something like that?
It's not an automatic, but it's a game that the Lions will win, man. Like you said, they can't keep pace on offense also, too. They don't use DK Metcalf not nearly enough. They don't have a number 2 wide receiver because is it Valdez Scantling? Is it Austin? who looked like he got injured yesterday. They don't feel confident enough to throw the ball to the wide receivers. That's why you see the majority of the share, it goes to the tight ends and it goes to the running backs, most particularly Kenneth Gainwell, who was 1.5 points away from getting me to the second round of playoffs. But you know what? My team fought hard this year, and I appreciate you guys. So, I gave my speech last night. I told him, I gave my speech. I said you gave everything you had, and I appreciate you. So, but no, they throw the majority of their passes to Darnell Washington, Yanu Smith, Kenneth Gainwell.
Well, I throw it to Darnell Washington too. He's the abominable snowman.
Yeah, but guys like that,
who's tackling him?
Yeah, but see, there's the thing with guys like that, especially 300 is what he weighs. He's tipping the scales around that. They got to get going. You have to get your momentum to go on to be able to use that 300. That's why you press his big ass at the line of scrimmage. Like, whenever you see him in there and pass on, you press him at the line of scrimmage and put it out. You stop him from getting the momentum going. Like, you won't have to worry about it.
You need somebody big to stop a guy like that, man. 6'7", 300 pounds. He's carrying guys down the field. He's carrying grown men.
Yeah, but that's when you put your 6'5", 245-pound linebacker on it and put him in his chest, and then you put a safety behind him per se. But
we'll see if Kelvin Shepard implements that. That'd be a nice thing. That's because it's going to need Jack Campbell.
They don't also run the ball. Like, they don't run the ball enough, and that's the other thing. That's where teams that have gotten Lions off their kilter have been able to run the ball against them. Mm-hmm. They can't run the ball. Like with Jalen Warren, they don't know what they want to do. Do they want to run it with Gainwell? Do they want to run it with Jalen Warren? They never build any type of rhythm.
Caleb Johnson a little bit.
Caleb Johnson a little bit, number 20. So yeah. Speaking
of fantasy, so you lost last night. You're out. Your season's over.
I'm out, man. It's over.
All right.
I can't. Not to cut you off. I was supposed to lose because I was talking all this stuff. Like I was gonna say.
Who'd you lose to?
Mass. Oh, man. And I was gonna say, you know what? Well, I lost because I had Kobe Parkinson on the bench who had 25 points.
Oh man.
I lost because I had a wide receiver on the bench that had 15 points. But Mass had Bo Nix on his bench, and Bo had 37. He also had Kyle Pitts on his bench who had 45.
That was it.
I was supposed to lose. Shout out to Mass. He did a good job, man.
I thought I had lost. I was up 5.2 points, something like that, going into last night. And I was playing my oldest boy, and he had Jalen Waddle. All he needed was 6 points from Jalen Waddle to beat me.
He had that one catch, and that was it.
Jalen Waddle had 4.8 points. I won by 0.82 points to advance into the second.
Wow. I would be hot.
And I know. I didn't know. I went to bed thinking, okay, I didn't win. I didn't even check it.
Yeah.
In fact, I texted him before I went to bed and said, congratulations on making it to the next round. You deserve it. I wake up this morning. There's a text. I can't frickin' believe this. So I check. Like, oh, my God, I won. Yeah. I got that little gold cup next to my name. I won. I'm moving on to the second round.
Sucks, man.
Not for me, it doesn't. I'm still alive. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk a little Pistons with you before we shift back into football. But we'll talk a little Pistons and a nice win against Boston last night. And, well, there's somebody out there who believes this team is back because one of these players deserve to be mentioned among the best in the world. We'll get to that when we come back here on the Braylon Edwards Show after this from Smoothie King and Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning.
You know, this Michigan weather can slow your goals down, but you know what? Your goals do not hibernate, so don't let them slow you down. Let them speed you up. How you speed them up is you go to Smoothie King, man, and you get the energy that will refuel you and get you in the game. Real protein, real fruit. That's what Smoothie King is offering you now, man. They want to make sure they're bringing you the real, and I mean that in two ways. And also, make sure you nominate a Detroit high school athlete today. Right here, scan this QR code. We have been working with Smoothie King on the High School Athlete of the Week, and it's become my favorite segment. It's become my favorite thing to do because of the impact in the MHSAA and the impact that we have on these young individuals. Fuel smarter this winter. Download the Healthy Rewards app. How about you do that as well and find your go-to blend at smoothieking.com. You don't even have to go into the store. You can do all this before you get in there. Real fruit, real protein. Once again, it's a Smoothie King, man, and this is why we partner up with them.
I would say it's one of my favorites, too. Outside of Braylon's Breakdown, the High School Player of the Week brought to you by Smoothie King is right there. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning is one of my favorites as well. Why? Because they're real, and they're reliable, and they treat you the right way. and they treat you with respect, and they've been doing it for over 40 years. Go to their website and check out all their customer-friendly options that they now have. Easy for you, like online filter purchasing. You don't want to go to a store and try to figure out which store do I go to, all this other stuff. It's a waste of your time. So if you go to Sharon'sHeating.com, they save you time and they save you money. That's what it's all about. Call them today, 734-238-3805, and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face. New focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Michigan, are you ready? You know what? Go on ahead and get yourself ready by scanning that QR code because you guys are going to want to know this information. It's the biggest pickleball event of the year, and I'm going to say of all time. The Woodward Sports Celebrity Tournament. The Woodward Sports Wicked Pickle Open, actually, January 9th through the 11th, and we're kicking it off with a bang. Friday night at 7:30, it's the Woodward Sports Celebrity Tournament, hitting the court with all 4 shows. Throwing down, we got local celebs, and it's all broadcast live thanks to the Woodward Heavyweight. Then the real battle begins. 3 days of nonstop pickleball, men's, women's, mixed and singles divisions. This is where champions are made. Sign up now at pickleballtournaments.com or call Wicked Pickle at 734-331-3451. Probably gonna need that massage chair after this.
You already know, and if you're looking to upgrade your relaxation game, check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. The largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, with top brands for massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki, located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Rebound controlled by Detroit. Shot clock is off. That is gonna do it here. Gritty, physical, tough, gutsy, and clutch play. Detroit Pistons basketball is all the way back as the #1 team in the East gets another win, 112-105.
We are.
Yeah. Well, that's the Peacock broadcast. He said the right word to trigger everybody. Gritty. You know, that's the association now.
It's a real thing
with this city. It's gritty. Yeah, the Lions have been really gritty this year. You're right. The Tigers 7-17 in September was really gritty.
With the shots.
But I do like the fact that he just talked about the fact that the Pistons, what type of gutsy win that was, and how they fought and how they battled. I don't care if Jason Tatum was playing or not. Bottom line is, Detroit's a better basketball team than Boston, and Boston's good. Detroit's the best team in the East. Does that mean they're all the way back? I don't know, but I do believe this is a team that, and I'm not going to judge them yet, quite honestly. I would ask for a little bit more time. How long does it take for you to recognize whether a team is legitimately back or championship material? How long? So if it's the NFL and you got 17 games, would it be 4, 5? Baseball, 60? You still have 100 games left if you play 62 games. So 60 games, I think it's okay to wait 60 games. In basketball, I'm probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 30, and they're almost there. They've given me no reason not to think that they would be. But I've been burned before by the Lions after 5 games and by the Tigers at the midway point of the season.
This is true. Yeah, this is true. But I'm going to choose to believe in this team. I'm going to choose to believe in what J.B. Bickerstaff has been building since he got here last year, what they built in the offseason after coming up short against the New York Knicks and starting the season off. Look, we said that based on how the East was constructed this year, where there were some injuries, where there were some coaches that were less than, where there were some players that were less than. You know, if the Pistons said, to hell with that, don't worry about this. We got this. This is how the start will be. So there's a lot that can go wrong. But right now, I believe in what this Detroit Pistons team is doing because I believe in the leader and I believe in the guy called Kay Cunningham, who we'll get into that. But yesterday was a good win. You know, it really was the Detroit Pistons versus Jaylen Brown and Derek White, for lack of a better word. I mean, they were the only two that really had points, 34-31, 5 threes for Derek White. It seemed like those were the only guys really doing something. That's because the Pistons defense was suffocating on those other players, and those guys had to be the ones. I mean, they gave up 24 in the second, 24 in the third, and 24 in the fourth. I mean, that's damn good defense and damn good basketball.
It's the number 2 ranked defensive team in the league according to defensive rating.
And for Detroit's reserves to outscore Boston's reserves in the second half 27-5, I thought that was the difference in the game.
If you're going to bring up reserves, you better start with Javonte Green. Holy beans and cornbread. Holy beans and cornbread. I didn't even think that was going to be a dunk. I thought it was an attempt anyway, but that was a hell of a dunk. And also yesterday we talked about the depth of the Pistons. Pistons had 10 players score 7 or more points last night, and then 4 double digits. I mean, when you're operating like that, especially against a team like Boston, in Boston, you know, that bodes well for you early in the year.
To your point, if I said to you last night, which player led Detroit in plus minus? I don't know. Are you a believer in that statistic? I am.
JG.
Okay. It was Javonte Green with a plus 13. All right. People will immediately go, he played 13 minutes. He scored 8 points. I mean, how big is 8 points? Plus 13. When he's on the floor, his team's outscoring the opposition by 13. That's a plus 13. That's a big deal. Yeah. So you're not losing anything from that standpoint. Yeah, you're gaining something with him. I'm not saying it's every night, but I'm saying I'm talking about last night. So I think it's all really good stuff. Do you feel if this team stayed the way it is, so I had this conversation this morning on my show, if this team stayed the way it is, are you confident that they can win the East? Or do you feel like at some point we're going to have to start talking about, do you tweak here or there? What are you missing? No team is perfect. Most teams are going to do something. Toronto's going to do something, right? Atlanta's going to do something. I would think Cleveland's going to do something. The Knicks definitely will do something. How big, I don't know. But my guess is the Pistons will have to do something. He did something last year, and they were pretty good. So do you think this team, the way it's built right now, is good enough to win the East?
Don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but no.
Okay.
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
What are they
missing? Well, yesterday, Jalen Duren's been a player that's supposed to be coming on for the Detroit Pistons. Yesterday, 29 minutes, 6 points, 3 rebounds.
Yeah, that can't happen.
Like, if he's supposed to be the duo, if he's supposed to be the guy that's next to Cade, and now you're building a three-headed monster, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, 6 and 3 that's not good enough.
Amen.
And then you look at Tobias Harris being the second leading scorer or third leading scorer. Like, that's kind of been inconsistent for the last couple games. Like, what does his back and his knees look like in May and June? Because he is one of the other players. So, like, as it currently is constructed, and then still trying to figure out what's Jaden Ivey, which is the question that we want to know before the season, and we still want to know right now.
It's kind of the X factor, isn't it, right now? If you think about it and you talk about Jaden Ivey, you're trying to decide 3 things. A, would you consider trading him? B, how good can he be if you keep him? And C, are you going to extend him after this year?
Yeah.
Those are all things that you have to take into consideration. I like him. I love the ability to deck and drive, and I love the ability to create his own shot, and I love the ability to hang around the perimeter and hit some threes and so on and so forth. It's not like I don't think he can be a dog on defense, and I'm that in a good way, right? The question is, if you're lacking something, fill in the blank. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Lauri Markkanen, names, whomever. That team's going to want something. And usually people are putting that name, Jaden Ivey, associated with it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but it's maybe I haven't watched enough basketball Kool-Aid. That's where we can get you in on that. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that one. But they definitely, in my estimation, are going to need something. Because I just think Karis LeVert had a decent night last night, 13 points. He made a 3. He missed. He made 1.
Made a big steal.
Made a big steal in the game, and that was cool, and that looked well. But why is Cade shooting 11 threes?
Yeah, it's a great question.
He made 6.
Because he made 6 of them. Yeah.
So it's one of those nights where it's hey, you know what? You got it. But Cade's not an 11 threes a night type shooter. Why are we shooting 11 threes?
It was the defense, actually.
Okay.
I highlighted
and then
this.
That's okay.
The Celtics,
the
for
zone
whatever
defense,
reason, and they played it soft.
Yeah,
this was one of the weirdest defensive tactics I've seen. It was almost like we're gonna let Cade beat us, but nobody else will, which makes the second half performance by the bench, in my opinion, that much better. But they weren't stepping up or pressing, so Cade was able to come off the pick and just literally is wide open. And if you're just gonna let a guy shoot, and it's almost like the shooting drill at that point in time. they didn't really press up and stop him as it relates to that behind the arc. And I haven't seen that all year.
He's such a good shooter, man. I
was surprised by
love that part of his game. The only thing I would ask, and I could be wrong here, I'm thinking right now in my head, you're going, I like Kelvin Shepard, right? You use that as a reasoning for it. I like Jalen Duren. So full transparency here. You said 6-3, not good enough. You're 100% right. It's his worst game of the year, by the way. And you need young guys, especially who are 22, guys who are supposed to be impact, guys who say that they've gotten better. We've recognized it. We didn't say that when Cade Cunningham 12 points in a loss to Cleveland.
Yeah.
We never said that. And we don't say it about him because he's a superstar. Jalen Duren's not. Cade Cunningham's going to be an MVP candidate. And we'll get to that here in a minute, too.
Yep. Tied for 7th last year.
Jalen Duren's not. So are we – I don't know. I'm asking the question. Are we harder on guys or more lenient on stars? Are we more lenient to guys because we know that they're, for the most part, that is just a blip in the screen? And then there are the players who we think need to elevate their game on a regular basis, and when they fall down – we are there to jump all over them and say, this is why you're not a superstar.
Yeah, I just think it's consistency. Like once you get to a point where you've gotten past the point of consistency where people say, all right, cool, this is who this person is. This is what this person has become. You settle in, and now you're looking at it through a different lens. I think we're watching Jalen Duren get there, but he's not there yet. So when he has a night like last night where he goes 6-3, you're like, man. Yeah. Like this is why
I can't disappear.
This is like I can't fully subscribe if you want to.
You're not far off because what's the antithesis of the soft defense on Cade? They packed the middle. They crashed Duren. Even on rebounds, he couldn't even rebound without two people crashing. He has to get used to that now.
Right.
Now
but
that
we can't make that as an excuse.
No,
right?
Not
okay.
an excuse, but even Cade had to get used to how teams last year were crashing with the double teams. So he's handling that much better, and that's why we are seeing a guy who's now going to be in an MVP conversation.
Yeah.
When Duren handles like what teams are going to do to him now to slow him down better,
he's got to adjust.
That's when we can really have the all-star conversation because Bray's right. In the playoffs, that type of defense will be employed against Duren.
Well, we have to be consistent, right? If we're going to say, Aiden Hutchinson, we want more out of you. I don't care if you're getting double teamed. I don't care if you're getting chip blocked because 100%. Guess what? They do it to TJ Watt. They do it to Myles Garrett. They do it to Trey Hendrickson when he's healthy. They do it to Max Crosby. They do it to Micah Parsons. So if we're going to say that and have that as a certain bar that Aiden Hutchinson has to eclipse, we can say it about Jalen Duren too, can't we? I think so.
He's about to get paid.
He is. He's about to get paid, and
I agree.
He's got to get used to this stuff.
I agree, and that's what I'm saying. Like last time, what we saw was a guy who was getting a little bit more defense. They were swarming him. He would, as soon as he would put the ball down, there was another person coming from around to steal it or swack. Those are the things that I believe are the next steps in his maturation. He has to get. He's still the biggest player out there.
Yeah.
He's still the most athletic guy out there. But teams are paying attention to him, and it seemed like they gambled. Oh, is Cade going to beat us from behind the arc? He got you from behind the arc, but they did slow down Duren a lot, and that's where I do level with where I get with what Braylon is talking about.
It is confusing, isn't it, that a team would have that approach? We're going to let your best player beat us. Dude who averages 27 points, 9 assists, 6 boards, and shoots 46% from the floor. We're going to dare you to beat us? Why in the world would you incorporate such a mindset with your team?
Against Cade was weird.
I mean, I believe you see that in the playoffs a lot of times. Like, look, we understand what this guy is. This guy's going to get his 40. This guy's going to get his 35. So let him do that. Nobody else, though.
Yeah,
like nobody else. If I'm
that water
if
off.
I'm the Celtics and I'm looking at what the Pistons are, and just in all fairness, I'm like, this guy can score. This guy can put it through the hoop. You know what? Let him. Okay. Because at the end of the day, do we think Tobias Harris and Ron Hollins and this is just me looking through it, not the Pistons fan.
Yeah.
But I'm like, do they have a number 2 that can kill us? Do they have a 3 that can kill us, especially if we crash these boards like this? So
it's a great question.
I can understand that tactic.
Yeah.
But if you're going against OKC, you can't say we'll just let Shea have 50 because he'll have 50. But then now you close out. There's 3 other guys that can get you 30.
Although Victor Wembanyama and I have a different of opinion regarding that.
Yeah.
Let's play and speaking of Cade
Stop
Cunningham.
the street.
Cade Cunningham has been unbelievable, right? He is truly a great player in the NBA. He's one of the best players in the world. So much so that listen to what an NBA podcast, Jeff Teague, who used to play in the league for a long time, had to say about the Pistons' number one star.
I wanted to say I apologize to the Detroit fans because I've always been a Detroit fan since last year. I was the first one on the bandwagon or whatever. But I said he was out of the MVP conversation, and that's a lie. Yeah, that's a lie. He's the front runner for the MVP. Because his team, he has no other star. Everybody else got legit stars on their team. He's the only star. Nobody else on their team going to be considered. I mean, Darren, whatever his name is.
Jalen Duren.
He might be considered for an all-star this year, but it ain't, like, guaranteed. He's the only guaranteed.
That's great. First of all, he's not the first one on the bandwagon. Kool-Aid was the first one on the bandwagon. So that's number one.
Kool-Aid never left.
Yeah, never left.
Never left.
Even when they won 14 games. When they lost 28 in a row, Kool-Aid came in here and said, I really think they're going to win.
They will rise.
Yeah. So that's number one. Man. Number two, I don't know if he's
ever been that blind about something.
It was the Cade factor, man. It was the Cade factor.
Oh my God! Wow. Get a room, for crying out loud! Get a room. I don't know if he's the front. I don't care right now if he's the front runner. He's in the conversation, and that's all you can really ask for. Jokic last night,
another triple-double.
39 points, 15 boards, and 10 assists, man. I mean, so I don't know if he's the front runner, but again, I don't care. To say that they don't have anybody else or another star is probably true because you just pointed out Jalen Duren. Who would be the closest thing to it?
On the Pistons?
Yeah, on the Pistons. Who would be the closest thing to a star on this team outside of Cade Cunningham? Well, look, guys.
That's tough.
Unfortunately,
Duren is the closest.
Guys, do we not say you got to have at least three? Actually, three. Yeah, I was going
to win three.
To win it all, three. Okay. But when I brought this up last week and I said, go trade for a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo, I got a guy who was tasting vinegar across the street from me here saying, no, there's no way. Okay, there's no way I would do that.
You sure that wasn't Cam?
No. I said I would. I would do it because you would run in the top one of the best threes in all the NBA.
Yeah, I apologize. I pointed your way. Anson was sitting. Anson was sitting there. And said he wouldn't do it. I think you got to have at least at least one more star on this team. You do? Okay.
I agree.
Unfortunately, right now, like the other star, if you just were that desperate, it would be Tobias Harris.
Yeah, the first name I think of is Jalen Duren. I think he can be an all-star this year.
Yeah.
He's got to get back to the way he played. 2 weeks ago, he was on a major role. Remember that? So I think if he gets back there, and that's easier said than done, then I think he can be an all-star.
I think so too, but I think I was more so thinking about like now, where they are, what they've done, who they are. You know what I'm saying? You look at that, it's unfortunately it'd be Tobias Harris. He's the most consistent Piston, not named Cade Cunningham, and he's been an all-star. He's gotten the bag, he's averaged 20 plus, blah, blah, blah. So, but yes, to what Jalen Duren has been doing this year, and is when he's shown us a couple of these games, you're like, oh, he's right there.
So you would agree with me you need at least one more?
Yes.
Which begs this question. If that's the case, and you think they need one more, what makes us think that they can be the best team in the East?
Because the best team in the East is only a record. It has nothing to do with what you do in the playoffs.
Okay.
So are we saying the best team as it relates to the regular season? Are we saying I believe that this is the best team and they will represent the East? Because you can be the number one seed and not make it past the first or second round.
Yeah. 2.5 game lead over New York.
Shout out Cleveland.
Yes. 2.5 game lead over New York. New York's got a couple of stars.
Yeah.
But I think most Pistons fans would be very reluctant be willing to do it at all if they said New York was a better team.
I think as constructed at their peak, they can get there, and that's getting the Jalen Duren that we got a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And if this defense stays, that's number 2. That's what I'm going to continue to put my hat on. If they continue to run out the type of defense they have, and you've seen even national media and outlets start to highlight their ability to switch and get back and recover.
Holla!
Hey, you know what? That's Detroit Pistons. Shout out to Shep, man. If they do that stuff, I think their peak is there.
Okay.
But I don't know how much you just rest on what they are at their peak, because we see when you go into the playoffs, it's a completely different thing, to the point that you keep saying Tobias Harris in the playoffs, Tobias Harris showed up, and that's
Tobias
something
and
that
Schroeder.
matters to me. I do believe he's one of those guys that's not going to be as shaken by the pressure in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you want to see a Durant step up, but this is where you're saying, do they need another player in here? That's one where I do lean on that side.
The funny thing ever is like you're looking at this team, and I'm like looking at last year. And that second best player on the team last year was Malik Beasley.
I know.
Like it was Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
When you look at numbers, you look at coming to a game, you look at a person that now he may shoot 1,000,000 shots, but he's going to find you 24 points. He's going to find you 22 points every night. Now he's not walking out there with nothing less than 19 points. He's going to hit a couple pivotal threes. He's going to play some pivotal or energy, if you will.
Yeah.
And then it's that energy. It's before the games. It's all that. That is, I guess, a player that you're missing right now.
What's the Kool-Aid's mentioned twice now about the Pistons defense? What's the number that jumps out at you for defensive? For me, it's field goal percentage against.
Against?
Yeah.
So what do you?
Oklahoma City's number 1, Detroit's number 2. That's what I look at. Field goal percentage against. What do you look at?
That's a good one.
Okay.
And I was
That's a
looking
great one,
that's a really good one. I was looking at a couple. I actually had the game on dual watch yesterday, so I was watching Monday Night Football. and watching the Pistons, but I was listening to the Pistons sound. I'd be damned if I was listening to the Monday Night Football sound. But they were just challenging all the shots.
Yeah, they.
And I talked about the 24 points, 3 back-to-back quarters, or back-to-back-to-back. They challenged all the shots. They made shots difficult. They made the Celtics have to adjust where they were initially going to shoot from or lay up from, or what, I had to give me bunny. Now I got to pass it. Oh, where am I going to pass it? It's clogged up. They made it difficult. Same thing Coach Gonzalez said when he was talking about DBs.
Yeah.
Said, make it difficult. Like you can't necessarily cover Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams like the whole time, but you make it difficult. Make each catch difficult. They make each basket tough. They make each possession tough. That's what I saw.
Bingo. They also like it.
Hell yeah.
And coaching defense, you talk to any basketball coach at any level, hockey coach, same thing. Playing defense is tough because it's hard to get a buy-in from everybody. On this team, I think what makes it unique, sure, Cade Cunningham's superstardom for sure, but also the fact that it seems like every player that's on the floor buys into the defense. You don't see a LeBron James moment where they're just walking down the floor and saying, "It's okay, I'll get you next time."
Working on their golf swing on the sideline.
Right. Did he
got a
do
lot
that?
of golf coming in the future. He's got a lot of golf coming in the future. I love watching him, and that was sarcasm, by the way. I love watching him and Kevin Hart's videos of them golfing these days. Like, so AI. That's all I'm saying. It's AI.
Kool-Aid, anything to add regarding the defensive number that jumps out to you?
You know what? We've been tracking on the watch parties, if the Pistons are going to win that turnover battle and how much points off turnovers has been a part of their identity. Every game they keep winning that.
Okay.
That means that they're getting after it, hustle points and all that. And I see the bench thriving off of that type of play, too. As long as they continue that, they're going to go out there and out-hustle their opponent. I think that gives them a leg up, especially when you got top-end talent like Cade and Jalen Durham.
Not a big stat, but a small stat. Offensive rebounding for the opposition.
Yes.
Okay. What is the offensive rebound for the opposition?
No, that's good.
That part.
Yeah.
Are you allowing teams to get second chance points? Are you allowing teams to beat you to the basket? Are you allowing? Because that's lack of effort. That's not the Pistons, but that would be like one of those little smaller ones I pay attention to.
Yeah. That's a good one. To Kool-Aid's point, the point of the turnovers, Detroit forces the third most turnovers in basketball. Oklahoma City 1, Phoenix Suns 2.
Phoenix.
And then Detroit.
Dylan Brooks, culture.
Grayson Allen over there, man.
Grayson Allen, too.
He's got a weird new bag that's actually pretty enjoyable to watch.
Those are two players that I dislike that I would love in the Pistons.
Same.
Who's that?
I don't dislike Grayson Allen. Like, contrary to popular belief, like, I don't like Duke players, but like I
be getting under people's
the scrappiness.
Skin and I love it.
I don't mind that scrappiness. Like I think watching Christian Laettner years later, like watching the documentaries about him, watching his basketball knowledge, his IQ, how he played the game, how he knew how to get under people's skin. Then when you get a Grayson Allen, now that I'm older and I'm able to watch through that lens, I was like,
you see it.
Okay, I see what this dude is. A little bit annoying, a lot of bit annoying, but I like him as a
lot of bit annoying.
I like him as a basketball player if he's on my team.
Exactly.
If he's on my team.
So one of my favorite players played at Duke. I love Grant Hill. Okay, and I saw a podcast the other day, listened to a podcast. I forget exactly who it was. But they said if Grant Hill had stayed healthy, he'd have been top 5 player of all time.
Yeah.
That's what they felt.
94, 95, Grant Hill was the best player in the NBA.
Yeah. And But isn't it interesting? And I didn't like Christian Laettner at Duke. Quite honestly, I didn't like him in the NBA either.
Everybody hates Chris.
Well, and he thrives on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily a fair example, but if Isaiah Stewart's not on your team, you hate him too.
Yeah.
And
last night
he does a lot of the same stuff Christian Laettner used to do. Okay?
But he's not as good as Christian Laettner.
He's not as good as Christian Laettner. However, he's ours.
Yeah, true.
So what he did with Jaylen Brown, which, who cares? I mean,
same.
You want to get after it. Maybe it bothers him. Maybe it takes you off your game. Jaylen Brown missed 2 free throws. Not at that time, but soon thereafter. Got a double tech. Okay?
I'm not going to. It moved from only Isaiah Stewart having to tech to them reviewing it and then assessing to Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
That's a win in Isaiah Stewart's book.
That's exactly right. Now, I don't know if he was thinking that.
No.
If he was thinking that, I give him even extra credit. Okay? But it is interesting. You couldn't stand Christian Laettner for the stuff he did at Duke, but you embrace the stuff that Isaiah Stewart does because he wears a Pistons uniform. Yeah. Those are the things that you have to be careful for when you're talking about these types of situations.
Braylon's up there like Kool-Aid Mike, but not me.
I'm over
But I was cracking up with Jaylen Brown, his Stu with his own little white eye.
Did you hear his comments afterwards about Isaiah Stewart? Yeah. Oh, I think he's a good guy. He's a nice guy or something like that.
Nobody wrote that real smoke. Because Isaiah Stewart, he means what he says and he says what he means. They knew not to mess with him.
Duncan Stewart said he's our goon. Shout out Duncan Stewart in the chat.
He says our goon?
Yeah, he said Beef Stew is our goon.
Speaking of...
He's going to hit a shot that I'll never be able to dislike him. And he's going to do some shot.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the playoffs. And it's going to be round 1.
Some crazy
or they're going to play against the Knicks. Whenever they meet the Knicks, I'm waiting for that game, by the way.
You got to clothesline Jalen Brunson or something.
No.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the opposite. He's going to do something like hit a corner 3 to win the game.
That you wouldn't have expected.
And then I'm going to have to come in here and be like... go ahead, talk about it. I won't say anything about Beef Stew.
I'm over here. The whole booth
That's
gonna be lit up over here.
He's going to be Detroit's version of Robert Horry.
There we go.
With some big shots. It is true though. We do pick and choose certain guys that we love. Like I love Dennis Rodman.
You would have hated him if he wasn't here.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
And Dennis Rodman was that kind of guy with Detroit. Okay, loved Rick Mahorn. I'm not going to go with Lambeer. I'm going to hold off on that. All right, but those are the guys you kind of loved in Detroit. D-Mac, who's part of our Woodward sports family. People who played against him, I mean, they didn't want that smoke, right?
Nope. Ben Wallace
but we loved him. Ben Wallace is another good example. All that stuff.
Yeah.
If it's ours, it's okay. If it's not, we got to be careful. But people in the chat somebody brought something up in the chat that I want to get to, and it has something to do with Pistons and Lions. We'll get to that when we come back on the Braylon Edwards Show. Stay with us. Les Stanford, I was just there yesterday. Okay, I was at Les Stanford Cadillac, and right across the street is their Chevy dealership. They have the Buick and GMC. They've got great stuff going on right now. And it's a really good time to jump in there and talk with people. I spoke with Ann yesterday at the Cadillac dealership. Could not have been nicer, could not have been cleaner, could not have been more amenable to anything you're trying to get into. And right now they've got a Silverado Crew Cab LT for as low as $189 a month, a Cadillac XT6 for only $359 a month plus tax, and a 2026 Buick Enclave for as low as $299 a month plus tax. Check them out today. Massive inventory, and I mean that. A massive amount of cars out there for you at lesstanford.com.
Jack's Car Wash is the best car wash in the state, and they have partnered up with us here at Woodward Sports to get you free car washes and get you that information. Text WSN to 888-522-1729, and you can enjoy top-tier service, free vacuums, compressed air, and mat cleaning room at all, actually at select locations.
Not my cleaning room. You're talking about
No. I'm talking
floor
about
mat.
Yeah, as in MAT. Get the floor mats, take them out of the car. Wintertime. This is the time where you need those mat cleaning rooms as much as any. Join the Unlimited Club, $29.99 a month, and it gets you access to all the coverages, all the perks of being a member. Upgrades, interior cleaning, all these things are possible if you want to visit at jackscarwash.com.
Straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
This big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search.
Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Dr. Pierce is the injury insider that you need, and don't miss him on Tuesdays with Big D Energy, as well as Thursday here on the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, where he shares his top tier advice about keeping peak athletes in peak condition. Trust the guy we trust, and that is Dr. Jeff Pierce. He's here to help you also stay in the game and perform at your best, whether it's getting ready for a rigorous golf season because it's coming up. But you can start now on those simulators, or if you travel, you want to be best. How about MichiganSportsandSpine.com, 248-426-9944.
Sing it with me. It's the holiday season. Yeah, so you can receive a 4-square, 1-topping pizza voucher for every $50 gift card that you have at Buddy's. And you purchase it through the rest of the month. Also, it's not too late to host a holiday event. And if you want to go into Buddy's, it'll be $15 a person, all you can eat. If you want to cater at your home, use the code HOLIDAY20 and you save 20% off your order of $200 or more. It's simple, it's good, and it saves you money. It's Buddy'sPizza.com.
Yeah, we back.
I want to get to some super chats here in a moment, but Braylon, somebody, Corey Patterson 1007 said this. On to the Pistons for me. I'm tired of Dan Campbell and his excuses after every loss. Love the guy, but it's getting old. I think what Corey says in the chat speaks for a lot of people in Detroit. I think, and I like Dan Campbell. I think most people do. I think most people want him as their head coach and all that other stuff. He's got to answer questions, you know. Head coaches are in front of the podium on a weekly basis. Yeah. But I think that the message of, look, we're learning, we're good, and we're going to show what we're made of, and we're resilient and all that other stuff, I think it's starting to wear on people a little bit.
It is.
Yeah, this is where we like to be.
He comes to the podium all the time. He says it amazingly. He's super cool. He takes onus. He takes all of the blame. When he was doing this early on, I always made the comment. I said, he's got to stop doing that. You got to stop taking the blame for everything else. I said, what people really want him to do is to point blame. Hey, people are wanting him to diagnose at this podium, hey, you know what, offensive line hasn't been good, or this hasn't been good, or my play calling hasn't been good. I should be doing this on defense. It's not good enough with the secondary, this, that, and third. They want him to point out what the issues is, as opposed, like, you got 6 losses out of 14 games, but when you come up here, it's like, you know what, we're learning, it's this, that, and the third. I think people want him, because he's an honest guy, as it relates to.
Yeah, I love that about him.
When he wants to, he's always honest.
Yeah.
But people are waiting for him to be honest about what's the problem. I think what people are struggling with is what is actually the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want to hear from our fearless leader. And I think Dan is not going to give you that satisfaction. Dan's not going to put any of his players out there. He's not going to put any of his coaches out there. This is the type of coach that he is. So if you're looking for Dan Campbell to come to the podium and say, look, man, Derek Barnes as well as Anzalone, our linebacker core, have to be better in coverage, you're not going to get that. If you're going to look for, hey, you know what, their wide receivers are just better than our DBs today.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that. Like, Dan's not a guy that will give you that. Some coaches will.
Yep.
And those coaches, they don't tend to work.
And sometimes those coaches, it's not met with
no,
great
the fan
applause
base,
by any
the
stretch.
locker room, the
yeah,
players.
Steve's in on the chat and he's like, Shep's hating on Dan now. I'm not hating. I'm bringing up what Corey said. Number one, don't be so sensitive. And the other thing is, I do think people are tired of it. That doesn't mean I am. I'm saying what fans are, based on my radio show, based on things that we've seen in the chat. Those are the things that we're getting a feel from. It's not me hating on Dan Campbell. I like Dan Campbell. Want him to be the head coach. I think he's done a really nice job here. There are certain things that I'm sure people would question with Dan Campbell. I would want him coaching this football team. But, and there's only so much he can do, okay? When somebody asks him a question, he's got to meet the media.
Yeah.
He's got to meet the media on Monday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, and Friday. So, of course, the people are going to ask him questions. For the most part, I think he handles it well. I just think people are tired of okay, we're going to be better for it because of this. And he's a positive dude. The easiest thing to be is negative. But I just think people are wanting to move on from things like that and almost get to the game and see what happens next. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they want to get something out of Dan and something to hang their hat on so that they can hang their hat on from now until Sunday when the Lions play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dan's not going to give you that. So
somebody said this, Detroit media,
blanket statement.
We need to start asking tougher questions. This isn't Matt Millen years. We're expecting to win, and so we have to answers while we're not.
It's been those complaints on socials a lot lately.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. On the other hand, I was around during the Millen years. He told great stories, but we did ask him tough questions.
I think that's what they're saying. They said they used to ask tough questions.
Oh,
then.
okay.
They're not asking
I got you.
I see what they're saying. Shep, get the cape out, bro.
Yeah.
They're trying to have you fly back in that room.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case.
They know you will ask it.
Yeah.
So I think our fans trying to say that there's been a love affair with the Lions as it relates to because this is new.
Yeah.
And now this is the first time that they've really been on the opposite side of it. So it's like, let's tread lightly, if you will, and kind of see if we get out of this before we hit them with, what's going on. It doesn't look the same.
I know some of our discussions have been like that, like even things we've disagreed about. We've gone on record of saying, well, I wish you would bring in the edge, but because of the success they've had, we'll tread lightly. I do wonder if some of that stuff makes its way over into the media because there's a lot of things people have written over the last 2 years that they thought would fall flat on its face. This team won't win more than one playoff game without an edge, and then they find themselves in an NFC championship game. So I wonder if that did make some people a little bit more apprehensive, but I believe, sometimes the responsibility is if you see it, call it, which is something I've been able to enjoy at least from the being in some of the practices and just asking questions, at least from the Pistons side of things when they were going through winning 17 and 14 games. I wonder with the Lions if that's in reverse because they've been so good.
Which team in this market do you think writers or media, instead of writers, just media in general, are toughest on?
Tigers.
Really? Okay.
I would say Tigers.
I would say Lions.
I actually was gonna say Lions, but the Tigers one over the last couple of years has been kind of, that noise seems like it got a little loud.
I think that's about the owner.
Or Avila. It was Avila, it was the owner, then it was players. So they didn't like the players that they have.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys, well, I guess they're now homegrown, but 3-4 years ago they weren't necessarily. So it's like, look, man, we blah blah blah. Yeah. A lot of stuff came down the pipeline about the Tigers.
Yeah, Kajobi says Tigers for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tigers.
Shogun, I can't even say this.
We know it's not Red Wings because we know who's the general manager.
Well, I don't think it's Red Wings because I don't think enough. I think they have their core group. I don't think they have enough people.
Basketball, we know it's not that.
And nobody talks hockey in this market. Nobody. Okay. Well, let me take that back. One person does. He does the mornings here on Woodward Sports. Nobody else talks hockey. in Detroit. They just don't. And because so many people feel like, well, I got to rely on chats, I got to rely on phone calls, so I'm not going to talk Red Wings. They deserve to be talked about. I mean, they're
shout
a
out to
good
Woodward
team.
Wings too, Spinny and Justin, but on the
they've got
to the host, I get it.
And they've got a good
Baligian.
game tonight against the Islanders, who've been an impressive team in the East with 41 points, second most, and 19 wins, second most. Shogun says this: in my mind, the media is too scared of Dan, and they don't want to piss him off. Just to ask, so they ask him softball questions. It's interesting. Okay. McMichael says it's Hockey Town. I don't know, man.
It was.
D-Mac will talk some hockey. That's a good point. Yeah, but he's bound to, right? But most, they really don't. And it's really too bad. And maybe it's because they haven't been very good.
It's like we got the monopoly of hockey talk right here at Woodward Sports. Tap in.
There you go. There you go. So I think that's there's when it comes to the Wings, there is something that I think that the Wings have done recently that I think should go to reminding us of just why it's important for the Lions to get things right. And it just happened yesterday. Jonathan Berggren was DFA'd, okay? He was cut loose. He was waived, if you will. And here's a guy who was drafted by Ken Holland. So some of the guys who were drafted by Ken Holland are now gone. Guys like Philip Zadina, he's been gone. Okay, now Berggren. Joe Veleno, he's gone. Jared McIsaac, they're gone. It shows you, I think, when you miss on early draft picks, just how far it can set a franchise back. And there's my concern with the Lions as well, because they have missed. They have. I know we talk a lot about the guys who've been really good. I'm not sure enough has been made of the guys who they have missed on that should be used at least as backups. We're talking about guys in the secondary. Those guys, the certain guys who are supposed to be in the secondary are who? Rakestraw, and he's not there. The defensive line, where are they?
This is the conversation I've been having for the better part of the season.
Yeah.
It's like that depth. That's what you draft. Second, third, fourth round. Second's the stars, but that third, fourth, fifth round, and you're drafting depth.
Yes.
You're bringing in depth. And when you're drafting injured players or when you're bringing a lot of chances or you're taking these chances, these risks, and I don't know sometimes how calculated they are, they just seem like risk. You know, you miss opportunities to have, you know, second string DBs, second string safeties, second string linebackers that can turn into starters or et cetera. You miss on some of those players and you don't have depth, you know, and when you get injured players, when you're getting your players injured, that are the guys that you choose on your first team, and then now they're injured, now you got to go to the who's who litany list of who's coming in as a second string player, but really you're more of a third, fourth string player. So you miss on those depth pieces.
Yeah. Like Melifonwu, if you would have hit on him in 21, he could be helping you in the secondary right now. If you'd have hit on Rakestraw, he could be helping.
He was aggressive yesterday, too.
So
that Rakestraw one, man.
Right? I mean, those are painful.
And you legitimately got to have a draft class, 2 draft classes. You're about to have 2 draft classes that were a waste, essentially.
Which one are you referring to?
24 and 25.
Okay.
Essentially.
That's
where it's trending, with the exception of Tate Rallies. Tate Rallies will work out for you at right guard.
Yeah, I hesitate to judge 25 right now because my hope is, it's a hope, that Tyleik Williams is going to be a major contributor.
Right.
That Tate Ratchett is going to be a starter. That Tesla is going to be a really good player for you eventually, and that Miles Frazier might be a starter for you.
I'm not going to hold out hope. I'm going to just let it surprise me. I'm going to just take the angle that I believe that it wasn't necessarily a good draft class, because the fact that you took a player off a national championship team that I don't know, a player that you took off a national championship team that wasn't on a lot of people's high on a lot of people's boards as well, but this is the player that you chose to take, and that player is Tyleik Williams, it causes for pause. Outside of Tate Rallies, the rest of the draft causes for pause.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the draft the year before, 2024, that draft causes for pause, which also goes back to the point, you knocked it out of the park in 23, crushed it. You had 2 first rounds that year. Right. And you even worked some magic with 2 first rounds, and the first one started at the 6th pick. Then also in 23, you had 2 first-round picks, in which you created some magic and worked some things out. But you get 2 first-round picks, and one of them is 2, or one of them is 6. you can do a lot more. So what it tells me is if this doesn't work out in 2025 draft, then a little bit easier when it's 2 first-rounders. But when you don't, it's a little bit difficult. And now you're trying to be smart. You're trying to be special. You're trying to do something that can connect, that can work. And they don't always work.
Yeah, and I know, look, they said how many injuries do the Lions got. I get that that's part of it. I just bring up San Francisco every time somebody says that. Sorry. When you lose, I would argue, the best linebacker in football in Fred Warner, when you lose an elite defensive end in Bosa, when you lose your running back for a period of time, when you lose your number 1 wide receiver,
and second, and third.
And second, right, with Pearsall, and you lose your quarterback for an extended period of time. If anybody had an excuse, it would be Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh and others. And folks, they've got 10 wins, and they're going to have more than 10 wins.
Yeah, also, too, man, like we got to stop talking about, like, yes, we had a conversation yesterday, Sam Laporta is missed. So is Brian Branch. So is, yes, the players are missed. But like Shep said, it's next man up. It's how do you coach in spite of? Like, and that's what the 49ers, that's what Kyle Shanahan are doing. Where do you make adjustments? Because we're talking about, they didn't have this player, they didn't have that player. Lions, with the exception of the Chiefs game, were in every single game.
Yeah.
Like, is it insert player here's fault that we lost to the Eagles? Like, is it that player's fault? Is it that player's fault that the Lions in the second half of the Los Angeles Rams games got shut out, got penalties when they weren't supposed to have penalties? It's one of those ugly things, man. Like, players get injured. And the Lions, unfortunately, has happened for them the last 2 years in a row. Last year, 100% the defense, et cetera, et cetera. You still were a better team than Washington Commanders.
Yeah, look, and in the chat, Steve puts, hey, they also have good depth because of their GM. Yeah, I think John Lynch has done a good job there. It's hard to say that he hasn't. I can't tell you how great their draft picks were up and down. I think Pearsall was a really surprise pick in the first round in 2024. Remember this, he also used a third-round pick on a kicker. And the kicker hasn't worked out. Jake Moody in 2023, I think he was a third-round pick. And I thought at the time, I'm like, wow, that's a bold choice, but the dude's got an unbelievable leg. Well, he's no longer part of their team. So
got rid of him. Same thing he did with Trey Lance. Trey Lance is one of the dumbest draft picks of history in terms of what you forewent to get him. It's one of the dumbest moves. However, what they do, they didn't wait too long. When Dallas offered a chance, they still got a 4th pick. How? I do not know. They still got a 4th pick for Trey Lance. That's called, you know what? We had an L. Let's not stew in this L. Let's get something back. Now it looks like a competent GM. I shouldn't have drafted him in the first place, but, I got a 4th back for it, and what do you use that for?
Yeah, look, when you can get Fred Warner as a third-round pick, you know you're doing something right.
You got Amon-Ra St. Brown as a 4th.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Both impactful guys. All right. When we come back, we'll get to some super chats and we'll get to the mailbag.
It's 352?
Here on the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports.
Dang.
Royalty in here, right here. Ali Haji Sheikh, Super Bowl champion.
What's going on, my guy? Hold on, what's happening? Ali. Look, we'll head to Black Rock Bar and Grill, home of Steak in the Stone. Also, you mentioned Woodward Sports. You get 20% off that food bill. And again, mention Woodward Sports. You get 20% off the deal. A sizzle above the rest. That's what Black Rock is here to offer. Prime sirloins are here to stay. Not just a meal, but it's a top rock experience. All you can eat platters for just $20. And don't forget, the holidays are upon us. Right around the corner, man. That's what Christmas is. So you buy a gift card for $50, you get $10, you get $60 back. Sounds like a deal to me. Black Rock, the place that sizzles.
Got a Super Bowl champion in the studio. Ali Haji Sheikh is with us, former Michigan Wolverine and a Super Bowl champ. And I think he's in here to get a haircut, too. At least he needs it. His wife wants him to. I don't blame him. You know, when I walked in here originally, saw 2 guys at the desk. They said, yeah, we're here for haircuts. It took them maybe about 30 seconds. They just signed in. As they went to sit down, they stepped right back up because they were all ready for him. That's what it is in Lady Jane's. That's why it's wicked awesome here.
Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, Recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
All together. They're good friends.
Time for that chill Medicaid. Let's face it, no matter what we do, we all have our aches and pains talking about it. Man, I'm at the gym all the time. I have my aches and pains. So that's why when I got a chance to partner with Chill Medicaid, it was a no-brainer, providing you with reliable relief so that you can live up to your best life. And then you see the items that they have there on the board. I use a lot of the topical balm as well, the Relax topical body rub, that is, the Extreme X topical body balm, Extreme X body lotion, and then the Max topical body rub with the Sub-Zero roll-on. That's the one for me. Learn more about Chill. Scan the QR code above my head on the right. There it is. And then also know that these won't get you high. They will make you feel good. They will take care of the body, and they provide you exactly what you need to get the aches away. There you go. Shep.
Well done. Oh, I was going to say.
No, it's not you. No.
Okay, I was waiting for the we're back.
If I told you could place any bet up to 1,000, and if you lose, you get that bet back, would you think I'm loco?
Yes.
Crazy.
Well, you like Piccolo, so I think you're loco.
Scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to one whole stack back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet just $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
Okay, short. We just have our thanks to Ali Haji for coming in. He won a Super Bowl, has the longest field goal in the history of the Pontiac Silverdome. He and Jason Hansen.
56 yards.
56 yards, and his longest field goal was 56, both on Monday Night Football. So a really good guy. Always liked him. I've known him for a long time, and you have too. Yeah, one of your dad's favorite kickers. Let's get to some of our favorite in the chat, and that's our super chats. And we got just a few minutes. My apologies, but good conversations last a while. Go ahead.
I ain't say that with the $5 super chat and the number 3 crown today. He said this, going back to our conversation from the beginning. He said he knew a kid that would scrape the burn off his toasted bread like Eddie Murphy in life, just causing a scene.
I actually like the burn part.
I do too.
Yeah, like burn hot dogs. Like sometimes you
gotta
burn the fat on the steak a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. The charcoal, that taste, man, it does something.
Although bacon, I would say no, because then it just crumbles, right? I don't like it burnt. My best friend loves it burnt. He wants it burnt to a crisp, and then he says, burn it again. I can't do that.
I'm cool on that. But I like some burnt bacon every once in a while. It's not one like the burnt hamburger, the burnt hot dog, the burnt toast. Like, it's not like that. It's
great.
Yeah, one out of 10 times. Yeah, I take that burnt piece, crumble it up a little bit, and just eat it and chew.
Or the burnt part of the crust on your buddy's pizza. I don't mind that either. That's good stuff. All right, more from the super chat. Go
ahead. Yep. Hey, this one from D_2387 with a $5 super chat and the number 1 crown today. Lions cannot take this lightly. Rodgers is 100% looking to come into Detroit and crush the Lions season one last time. This is personal, he says.
Don't forget the Lions buried him. The Lions buried him.
They chased him out of the division
2 years in a row. I mean, excuse me, two games in a row.
Thinks he left the NFC North.
He knew the Lions were on the way, Shep.
You say what you want to, Shep. He threw 5 interceptions in the last 2 games against the Detroit Lions. So if I'm if I'm Aaron Rodgers, who I know him very well, that is not in the back of his mind.
Oh,
I
don't doubt that. I was laughing because he says they chased him out. He is 18-8 all time against Detroit, and he's got 54 touchdowns and 11 picks.
What have you done for me lately, Shep?
Thank you. Yeah, all right.
0-4.
5 picks in the last 2 games. That's big, really big. I didn't know that stat. Now I love it. Okay, go ahead.
Kirby Joseph.
Joseph.
He's got 3 of them.
He's not playing.
This is true. This is true.
At least as of right now. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll surprise us. That'd be great.
You know what? I saved this one for last. From Michigan Go Blue, number 2 crown in the chat, $4.99 super chat.
What's going on?
This one. Are you guys ready for this?
Yes,
He
I'm
said,
ready.
y'all are the best sports show out there. Thank you guys for everything.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. We should pay you for doing that. We
should.
appreciate the super chat. That's very kind of you, and that means a lot to us. Believe me, it does. Yeah. All your comments, believe it, whether you like us or not, like Steve says, Shep's a hater. I still appreciate the thought.
They're listening.
Huh?
They're chiming in.
They're chiming in.
An opinion.
I don't know where he gets that, but okay. I mean, just because I said Isaiah Stewart's the guy we probably wouldn't like on somebody else's team. I used to say it about Bill Lambier all the time, and I worked with him for all the time. Any more, Kool-Aid? Go ahead.
No, that's all for the super chats today.
Good stuff, man. Anytime we start talking about food, boom, that chat just opens up. People with burned ham, burned bacon, burned pizza, burned pepperoni. All good stuff.
I'm seeing chicken bacon pizza. I'm seeing bacon and pepperoni.
People are hungry.
Now you're making me hungry.
People are hungry.
Yeah.
People are hungry.
Cam, great to have you. Kool-Aid as always. Braylon,
Christmas bracket tomorrow.
Christmas bracket tomorrow.
bit.
Let's do that on a Wednesday. Perfect timing
sense.
for it. Thursdays, remember, it's Braylon's Breakdown, so you don't want to miss that on Thursday. Don't miss an episode of the Braylon Edwards Show here on Woodward Sports. The heavyweights coming up a little bit later at 5 o'clock. Enjoy your Tuesday night, everybody.
See you.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.